How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech, and today we're going to talk about this screen protectors. More specifically, which one should you get? There are so many models, types, and materials nowadays that's super easy to get confused. Maybe the hard glass screen protectors are the best ones, right? Or maybe the plastic. Flexible screen protectors are your best choice. We're gonna talk about them all in this video, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. Let's get started. Okay guys, so in this video, we're gonna talk about two main types of screen protectors. We're gonna talk about the hard glass or tempered glass screen protector, okay? And we're also gonna talk about plastic flexible screen protectors, also known as TPU or PET or many other names. So let's focus on hard and flexible because there are so many possibilities, so many names that it's easier to separate between those two choices. And of course, I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of which one of those, okay? So let's begin with the hard glass screen protector. Okay, so the glass screen protector has two very good benefits, two very good advantages compared to other options, to the flexible option. Beginning with impact protection. So it will in fact give you more protection. It will absorb the impact better simply because it is hard. So as you can see right here, it's hard. So when you're using this on your phone and you drop your phone, there's a chance that it'll absorb the impact, so then it'll shatter. It'll actually break the glass on the screen protector, but then it may protect your phone simply because, as I said, it'll absorb and it'll distribute the impact a little bit better compared to flexible screen protectors. So this is a very nice advantage. Benefit number two, this type of screen protector is generally tougher and more resistant to scratches. So when you're using your phone normally, like in your pocket, in a purse, or like as you would in your day-to-day life, if you leave it on the table, since this is tempered glass, it'll generally hold a little bit better small scratches, as I said, like from keys and dust and small particles like that. It's tougher, but please keep in mind, a screen protector will never be as tough as your phone display. Whether if it's Android or iPhone, the screen, the screen itself from your phone is always gonna be way tougher than the protector, all right? But this type of screen protector is actually tougher compared to flexible plastic ones. So this means that this will last longer without looking super scratched and super ugly, all right? So it's more resistant on its own, and of course, it'll protect your phone a little bit better. But then it comes the downside. These type of screen protectors are generally thick. Of course, they are becoming less and less thick. They're becoming a little bit thinner over the past years, but still they are relatively thick, meaning that you can definitely notice and you can definitely feel when you're using your phone when you have one of those screen protectors on. So when you're moving, for example, from side to side, from bottom to top and so on, especially the corners, of course, you will definitely pass your finger over it and definitely feel it. So it's a little bit uncomfortable, and definitely when you're using one of those things, you know you're using it. It doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel stock, it doesn't feel clean. You're definitely touching it, feeling it. So if you're like one of those clean feelings, especially if you like using your phone without a case, super thin, super sleek, super clean, I don't think this is the best option for you because you're gonna be feeling it and touching it all the time. On top of that, since this is glass, it's always gonna be a flat surface, always gonna be a flat screen protector, meaning that your iPhone, it has curves, right? But this doesn't. So on top of the fact that it is thick and you can definitely touch and feel it, it's also flat, so it doesn't follow the curvature of your phone, so it becomes even more apparent that you have a screen protector on. And the last thing you have to keep in mind about glass hard screen protectors is they break relatively easily. So as I mentioned, you drop it, it's gonna absorb the impact and break, right? Well, this may happen more often than you think. So sometimes small, very teeny teeny tiny drops will actually make your screen protector break on the corners, in the middle. So it's super common to install it, and after a few days you see some cracks anywhere on your screen protector. So it's kind of frustrating sometimes because you have a brand new phone but you have a cracked phone, not because the phone is cracked, but because the screen protector is, so it looks ugly. So then you have to remove it and get another one. So it's very important to keep in mind that this may be resistant to scratches, but it may really break, shatter very easily. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let's talk about flexible screen protectors. And I wouldn't be able to do this with a glass screen protector, otherwise it would just break, right? So flexible screen protectors are plastic screen protectors, and there are so many names. We have TPU, PET, and every day they create something new, a new name, but you have to keep in mind that if it's flexible, it goes in the second category. It's a plastic screen protector. And just like the previous model that we just talked about, this also has a lot of benefits and a lot of disadvantages, and let's talk about them too. So as you can imagine, these type of screen protectors are not going to be as protective as the previous model when we're talking about impact. So when you're talking about protection from drops, simply because it's flexible, it's thinner, so naturally it won't protect as much. And I'm going to talk about thickness in a second, okay? So just like it won't be as protective from drops and things like that, it's not going to be as hard and as durable when you're talking about scratches. So even the smallest scratches are going to show up very easily on these types of screen protectors, simply because they're softer. If you just go ahead and run your fingernail with just a little bit of force, you will already leave a mark on your screen protector. Actually, just by looking at it, I can already see that even though it's sealed, as you can see, there's already a mark right here in the middle, maybe from the transport. And I actually bought this in person, in a store. I got it and then got here to the studio, and I got this today, and I can already see a mark. So you can already tell how fragile those are regarding scratches. And as I said, the same thing about absorbing impacts. It won't protect you a lot. Now let's talk about the benefits. Unlike the hard glass screen protector, the flexible ones are thinner. They are way thinner, and they're actually more flexible around the edges as well, meaning that they're not flat. And what I'm trying to tell you here is when you apply one of those screen protectors, they feel way more natural. They're thinner on the corners, on the border, and the bezels, as you can see. So then when you're using it, you can barely tell, especially if they were perfectly installed by a professional. So it's much harder to tell. You have this natural stock feeling when you're using one of those. As I said, thinner. It wraps around the border of your phone better. So then it's way better because of this. But please keep in mind that, and remember I said we're gonna talk about thickness, right? If you use a very thin flexible screen protector, then there's no point using. So if you're thinking about getting a flexible one, at least get a little bit thicker. You have to feel there's some substance here, okay? So not too much, not too thin. It has to have something, all right? Otherwise, it will not protect your iPhone from anything, all right? And because it also wraps around your phone and it doesn't break, it doesn't shatter, these generally will last longer. So unlike the previous model that sometimes will just crack and have some dents, you won't have this problem here because it won't crack. It's flexible. So it will in fact last longer. So that's something good you have to keep in mind. Before we wrap up this video, I have something that's very important about this subject. And a lot of people have this misconception that screen protectors will actually really protect your iPhone from drops. And even though I mentioned that hard glass screen protectors do in fact offer more protection, it's limited, okay? No screen protector in the world will actually shield your iPhone completely. So you won't be 100% safe even if you're using one of those thicker, hard, like glass screen protectors. You may drop your iPhone from like stand-up height and it may break your screen. It may break the screen protector and your phone screen. This is super common, especially because sometimes what actually causes the screen, your phone screen to shatter is not necessarily when your phone falls like this, facing down. It's actually generally when your phone in general falls like that on a corner. Because if it falls like that on its corner, as you can see right here, it's common that the chassis of your phone will actually bend. You see a bend here, and then this bending process will actually make your glass to break. So even if you're wearing a screen protector, if you're using a screen protector, it can't help you, it can't protect you from something like that. So this is very important to keep in mind. You have to adjust your expectations on how your screen protection can actually help you. It's more about the scratches than the drops. As I said, one of them will protect you better, but it's not like it will completely shield and protect forever your phone. It's more about the scratches. And with that in mind, we conclude the video that there's no specific screen protector that's better than the other, simply because it'll vary a lot on what you are looking for. So if you're looking for something cleaner, if you're looking for something more natural, more stock feeling, if you want to use your phone caseless and you want to really protect your screen specifically from against scratches, then the flexible options are your best bet. But if you really want to protect your iPhone or your phone in general, the best way possible, even though it's not 100% as I mentioned, but the best you can, then the glass option is the best bet because of shock absorption, as I've mentioned before, and because it will protect you more from scratches as well. So it's more what you're looking for and what you think is best for you than necessarily what's the best kind of accessory. All right, so hope you enjoyed this video, hope it was helpful to you, and of course I'll see you on the next video as usual, guys. Bye bye.